that had a kill during operation. Now this anti-aircraft gun, it's a team of 5 that operates it, and it can rotate in every direction. This, of course, are pieces of that Fateh missile, but the Sudarshan Chakra of the air defense system was successful in neutralizing that too. With me is Lieutenant General Rajan Sherawat, the co-commander of the Rising Star Corps. Sir, congratulations on Operation Sindoor.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir, your assessment of the biggest achievement of the armed forces in Operation Sindoor.
Well, Gaurav, I think the biggest achievement is there for everybody to see. The Indian Armed Forces, I think, have established a new normal with our Western adversary and Western neighbor. I think never has it happened before in history that we have been able to hit 9 targets, and out of these 9 targets, 4 of them in the Pak, Punjab, which is the heartland, which is the center of gravity of the proxy war infrastructure that Pakistan has created. And out of these 9 targets that were hit across the international border, 7 of them were done by the Indian Army itself. Out of the 7 which were done by the Indian Army, I can state this, 2 of them were opposite the Rising Star Corps. And these, mind you, these targeting was precise, measured, non-escalatory in nature. And we had hoped that the message would be driven home loud and clear to our adversary.
And this, you're just talking about the first wave where India only targeted terror headquarters and bases in Pakistan. The fact that there were terror bases that were targeted in Pakistan's Punjab province, that's a very big signal. Is such a big signal, was it sent out the first time in this way?
Generally, I think our Pakistan was expecting that we would hit him across the line of control, which he was anticipating as we had done in maybe during the Uri surgical strikes and in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa when we had hit Balakot. But this time we had undertaken this resolve, and will of the nation was with us to hit the terror infrastructure in the Pak heartland. And I think it is the first time it is happening that we have gone so deep and hit him where we wanted to hit. So I think the message which has gone around very loud and clear is that the Indian Armed Forces and the Indian Army, they have the will, resolve and the capacity and the military superiority and the technical know-how to hit the terror infrastructure wherever it may be.
So you can hit him in Pakistan's Punjab province. You can hit not just terrorists but even the Pakistan army. Our army hit Pakistan army. That's that big thing wherever you wanted.
Well, to begin with, as a response to Pahalgam, we never intended to hit Pakistan army. We had only wanted to hit terror infrastructure, and that was the only aim. And we ensured that there was no collateral damage in the initial 9 strikes. Yes. But after that, we had hoped that Pakistan would see the reason and would not retaliate and hit us. But much to our dismay, and I think as expected by most of us, he hit our civilian population and some military installations also. He attempted hitting it. But I think our proactive nature, our dynamism of our deployment made sure that all these infrastructure, including 2 air bases that the Army Air Defense was able to defend very successfully. And we made sure that none of his drone strikes, none of his missile strikes came into any of our bases.
Isn't that one of the biggest success stories, sir? That Pakistan, which apparently has a lot of unmanned aerial vehicles and unmanned combat aerial vehicles, could not hit your air bases or even your sensitive military installations?
I think the results speak for themselves. Today, if any hit had taken place, I'm sure Pakistan would have taken out a satellite image of a before strike and after strike. There is none like we have done after our strikes. There is none for Pakistan to show. And it only shows that all his drones and missiles that he fired at us, they were either handled by a soft kill mechanism or a hard kill mechanism. And this combination worked very well for us because, as I said, right from the army headquarters downwards, the strategic guidance that I was getting, we made sure that we had thought through of all contingencies so that we could checkmate him.
And you knew that when you're hitting 9 terror camps, including, when the Indian Armed Forces were hitting Bahawalpur and Muridke for the first time ever, the army would react, the Pakistan army would react. What had you anticipated, if I may, his reaction to be?
See, we had anticipated that he might hit our air bases in the depths, our military garrisons in the depth areas, and you have gone through the Rising Star Corps area. Our garrisons are pretty forward. So we had anticipated that, and we had made our deployments accordingly to cater for this contingency. Along the IB, we had anticipated that he might target our posts, so we had plans for that. As and when he violated the ceasefire along the international border, I think as per our plans, we responded and reduced the post to ground, which you have seen for yourself as you have travelled through the Rising Star Corps. Also, certain targets were hit in operational and tactical depth to drive home again the lesson to him of the futility of escalating. And that is how I think we could manage the whole operational environment.